Imagine starting your day carrying a shield that protects you from the unseen harms, from worry, from stress, from the trials you don't even know are coming. Brothers and sisters, this shield exists, and it is in the morning Adhkar, the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after Fajr. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us that the morning and evening Adhkar are not just words, they are a fortress for the believer. When you say Subhanallahi, wa bihamdihi la ilaha Allah, Allahumma inni as'aluka khayra hadal yawmi, you are not just reciting phrases, you are sending out a call to Allah, seeking His protection from every anxiety, every hidden danger, every whisper of shaitan. Brothers and sisters, anxiety has become part of our lives. Worry, stress, fear of the unknown, it attacks the heart silently. But remember, the heart that begins the day with Allah, the heart that calls upon Him, will never be left unprotected. The morning adhkar are a shield from harm, from envy, from accidents, from heartbreak, from the trials of the day. And it's not difficult. Just a few minutes after Fajr, in the quiet of the morning, recite your morning adhkar with sincerity. Feel your heart submit. Feel the peace descend. You may not see the protection with your eyes, but every word spoken is a barrier, a safeguard, a mercy descending from your Lord. So, do not skip them. Do not think, I'm too busy. The one who protects you, the one who knows what tomorrow holds, deserves just a few minutes of your morning, and in return, He gives you peace, security, and a heart free from needless fear. Start tomorrow differently. Begin with Allah. Guard your day with His words. Let the morning adhkar be a shield, and watch how your heart walks through the day with courage, with serenity, and with faith. Remember, whoever remembers Allah in the morning, Allah will suffice them throughout the day. Whoever starts with Him begins with protection. So rise early, recite, and let your heart be at peace. Because the morning adhkar are not just words, they are your shield. Morning adhkar as a shield. Reciting morning adhkar after Fajr acts as a spiritual shield, protecting the believer from anxiety, harm, envy, and unseen dangers. Imagine waking up every morning and carrying with you an invisible shield, a shield that you cannot see, yet its protection surrounds you at every step. This shield is not made of steel or wood, it is made of words of remembrance, of Dhikr, the morning adhkar that the Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us to recite after Fajr. Many of us underestimate the power of these words. We might think of them as simple recitations, phrases that we repeat out of habit. But the truth is far deeper. These words are a fortress for the believer, a barrier against the unseen dangers that surround us every day. Anxiety, worry, fear, and trials may seem inevitable, but the morning adhkar are a spiritual shield placed between us and the chaos of the world. When you begin your day with Allah, you are essentially seeking His protection before you even step into the day's challenges. The words of Dhikr, when spoken with sincerity, are not just rituals, they are a direct line to the Creator, the one who knows everything, sees everything, and controls all things. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, la ilaha illallah, Allahumma inni as'aluka khayra hadal yawmi. These are not empty phrases. Every word you utter is a plea for guidance, safety, and peace. Every phrase builds a barrier around your heart and mind. Every word invites mercy, protection, and serenity into your life. Think about anxiety for a moment. It creeps in silently, it whispers doubt, it magnifies fear, and it makes ordinary challenges feel like mountains. Worry about the future, fear of failure, concern for what might happen. These thoughts can dominate your heart if left unchecked. But when you recite your morning adhkar, it's like putting on armor. You are telling Allah, I begin this day with you, and I place my trust in you. Protect me from what I cannot see, from what I cannot understand, and from what I cannot control. And Allah, in His infinite mercy, responds. He envelops your heart with tranquility. He sends protection over your home, your family, your work, and your interactions. These adhkar are also a shield from the whispers of shaitan. Shaitan thrives on doubt, anxiety, and fear. He wants you to start your day in worry, to carry negativity in your heart, and to forget the one who is your ultimate protector. But when you begin with Allah, when you recite His words, you are closing the door on shaitan's plans. He cannot enter the heart that has been fortified by Dhikr. Your morning remembrance becomes a shield that is more powerful than any sword, more protective than any lock or key, more effective than any human defense. Furthermore, these morning adhkar protect you from the hidden harms of the world. We live in a life full of unseen challenges, accidents, illnesses, misfortune, and trials that we cannot predict. The world may promise security in wealth, status, or connections, but the ultimate protection comes from Allah. By reciting the morning adhkar, you are essentially seeking refuge from the harms that may not even be visible to the eye. It is a shield that surrounds not just your body, but your heart, your mind, and your soul. You may go about your day without realizing it, but the protection is there, silently guarding you, silently keeping harm away, silently providing peace. The beauty of this shield is also in its accessibility. It requires no money, no special training, no complicated rituals. It only requires a few minutes of sincerity, a heart that acknowledges its need for Allah's protection, and a mind focused on His remembrance. Even if the day ahead is uncertain, even if challenges await, the morning adhkar provide assurance that you are not facing them alone. You have a shield, and that shield is the words of Allah, the remembrance of Allah, and the connection to your Creator. So never underestimate the power of starting your day with dhikr. It is not just a habit, it is a protection. It is not just words, it is a barrier against anxiety, harm, and trials. The morning adhkar are a shield, and with them, a believer walks through the day with courage, with peace, and with the certainty that Allah is watching over them. Begin every morning with this shield and see how your life transforms, how your heart feels lighter, and how your day becomes guided by the protection and mercy of your Lord. Simplicity and power, just a few minutes of sincere remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala each morning can bring peace, protection, and courage throughout the day. Many of us make the mistake of thinking that spiritual protection or peace of heart requires complicated rituals, hours of study, or special circumstances. We imagine that connecting with Allah is something that needs grandeur, that it needs effort beyond our busy lives. But that is not the case. The power of the morning adhkar lies precisely in its simplicity. A few minutes after Fajr, sitting quietly or even walking slowly through your home, you can recite a handful of phrases and invoke the protection of Allah. It may take less time than making your breakfast, yet the impact lasts far longer than anything else you might do that day. These simple words, when spoken sincerely, hold immense power. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, la ilaha illallah, Allahumma inni as'aluka khayra hadal yawmi. They may sound brief, but within these phrases lies the mercy of the Most High. The simplicity is deceiving because the power contained in them is infinite. It is like holding a small key that can open a massive door, a tiny pebble that can stop a flood. Many of us are looking for elaborate solutions to our anxieties, our stress, our fears. We try to control circumstances, plan every detail, and yet our hearts remain restless. But the morning adhkar require nothing but your sincerity. They do not depend on your wealth, your status, or your ability to understand complicated theology. You speak the words, you mean them, and Allah hears them. The simplicity also ensures accessibility. Whether you are rich or poor, young or old, healthy or sick, these words are for you. They do not discriminate. And therein lies their power. You do not need permission, a specific setting, or approval from anyone. You simply begin your day by turning to Allah and acknowledging your need for Him. This simplicity makes it possible for anyone to guard their heart, protect their mind, and invite serenity into their life. A small act done consistently has a greater impact than grand gestures done rarely. A few minutes of morning adhkar every day builds a spiritual fortress that cannot be easily shaken. And let us reflect on the power these words carry. They are more than just phrases, they are a direct connection to Allah. When you say La ilaha illallah, you are affirming the oneness of your Creator, acknowledging that He alone is your source of help, protection, and guidance. When you say Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, you are praising Allah and at the same time cleansing your heart from doubts and negativity. And when you ask Allah, Allahumma inni as'aluka khayra hadal yawmi, you are making a personal request, placing your day into His hands and seeking the best in every aspect, your actions, your health, your relationships, and your trials. Each word carries weight, and each phrase invites divine attention and protection. It is remarkable how a few simple words can shift the entire trajectory of your day. Imagine beginning the day burdened with worry or fear, versus beginning the day under the protection of Allah, with your heart anchored in His remembrance. Anxiety loses its grip when the heart is filled with dhikr. Fear of the unknown becomes manageable because you have sought refuge in the One who controls all things. The simple act of reciting morning Adhkar transforms ordinary moments into moments of spiritual power. Furthermore, the simplicity allows it to become a habit, a natural part of life. You do not need special motivation or inspiration to recite your morning Adhkar. They can become as automatic as brushing your teeth or preparing your breakfast. And yet, unlike those daily routines, their benefits are eternal. They protect your heart, guard your soul, and draw you closer to Allah. They remind you that no matter how busy or complicated your day becomes, your shield is ready, your protection is in place, and your Lord is watching over you. So never underestimate the power of simplicity. A few minutes, a few words, and a sincere heart can bring peace that years of worrying cannot. The morning Adhkar are simple, but their power is limitless. They invite mercy, protection, and tranquility. They transform the ordinary into extraordinary, the mundane into sacred. And the best part, anyone can do it. No barriers, no complications, no excuses. Just speak, believe, and feel the heart begin to calm. Simplicity is beauty. Simplicity is power. And in the morning Adhkar, we find both. An effortless way to invite divine protection and a timeless method to strengthen the heart, mind, and soul. The power is in your hands. You only need to speak. Consistency is key. Making morning Adhkar a daily habit ensures continuous spiritual protection and strengthens the heart against stress and worry. One of the greatest lessons we learn from the life of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the teachings of Islam is that consistency matters more than occasional greatness. You could perform a grand act of worship once, but if it is not followed by regularity, its effect may be limited. On the other hand, a simple act, performed consistently, can change a life, transform a heart, and invite countless blessings. This is exactly why morning Adhkar are so powerful. They are simple, yes, but their true benefit is realized only when they are practiced every single day without fail. Consistency turns these small recitations into a shield, a fortress that grows stronger over time, protecting you from anxiety, harm, and the challenges of daily life. Many people make the mistake of reciting morning Adhkar occasionally. They may remember them for a few days after hearing a lecture or reading an article, but soon the busyness of life takes over. They think, I can skip today, I'll do them tomorrow, and gradually the habit fades. But the heart does not forget. Anxiety creeps in, worry becomes heavy, and the unseen harms of life begin to weigh down the soul. The beauty of consistency is that it protects against this very cycle. When you make morning Adhkar a daily habit, even when life is hectic or your heart is tired, you are building an invisible shield that cannot easily be broken. It is this repeated, daily connection with Allah that fortifies the heart, strengthens the mind, and invites His mercy continuously. Consistency also builds a rhythm in your life. Imagine beginning each day with a remembrance of Allah, every day without exception. The mind learns to turn to Allah automatically. The heart begins to find peace naturally. Challenges do not hit with the same intensity because your day starts with spiritual protection. Life becomes easier, not because the world changes, but because your connection with the Creator has been made constant. Just as the body becomes stronger through regular exercise, the heart and soul become stronger through regular dhikr. Each morning you recite, you are adding another layer of protection, another layer of calm, another layer of mercy. And this consistency does not only benefit the individual. When you begin your day with morning Adhkar regularly, it affects your behavior, your interactions, and your character. You become calmer, more patient, more thoughtful. You respond to challenges with faith rather than panic. You interact with others with kindness rather than irritation. Even your environment begins to change because your heart carries the remembrance of Allah into every action. A consistent heart rooted in dhikr becomes a source of blessing for everyone around it. Consistency is also a means of earning Allah's pleasure. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that Allah loves deeds that are done regularly, even if they are small. Morning Adhkar are simple, but performing them consistently shows dedication, sincerity, and trust in Allah. It demonstrates that you are willing to make a small sacrifice of time every day to strengthen your relationship with your Creator. And in return, Allah envelops you with protection, tranquility, and guidance throughout the day. This daily consistency becomes a testament to your faith, a reflection of your reliance on Allah, and a declaration that you will not neglect His remembrance, no matter what the world demands of you. Moreover, consistency helps you withstand the unseen attacks of life. The world is full of challenges we cannot anticipate: anxiety, sickness, envy, betrayal, accidents, and trials. When your morning Adhkar are consistent, these challenges are met with a fortified heart and a protected soul. The spiritual shield you build daily does not disappear on the days when difficulties arise. Instead, it is strongest precisely because of the routine and commitment you have maintained over time. Your connection with Allah becomes second nature, becomes your first line of defense even before you see the problem, even before you recognize the trial. Therefore, consistency is not just a habit. It is a lifeline. It is the daily rhythm that protects, empowers, and strengthens the believer. It is the difference between a heart that is vulnerable to stress and a heart that is anchored in divine protection. It is the difference between a day filled with worry and a day filled with peace. Small, repeated actions performed consistently carry enormous weight in the eyes of Allah, and morning adhkar are one of the most powerful examples of this principle. So, make it a commitment. Let no day pass without your morning adhkar. Even if you are tired, even if you feel distracted, even if the world demands your attention, begin your day with Allah. Build the habit, maintain the rhythm, and let consistency transform simple words into a shield that guards your heart, your mind, and your life. Over time, the protection becomes undeniable. The peace becomes real, and your connection with Allah grows stronger with every sunrise.